All right, it's time for Coach's Corner number 20. More of my series on some great books to read. These are my top three personal development books, books that you can read to kind of get introspective a little bit, learn a little bit about how you can just grow and be a better, more fulfilled person. And as a coach, the better you can be as a person, obviously, the better you as a coach. So my number one, my top favorite personal development book is the book Good to Great by Jim Collins. It's really a business book, and it examines kind of the common factors that all great companies have, and it compared the difference between great and good, and said that great really is a high achieving company over a very long period of time. And really what it boils down to is leadership. It examines the common leadership styles and leadership skills of the CEOs of those top companies. It kind of reads like a college textbook, a lot of research. It's not an easy read at all, but it was really eye-opening for me as a coach, from the standpoint of kind of identifying the factors that not just lead to success, like success in a season of coaching or, a stretch of 2 or 3 years, but extended success over a long period of time, or even success after you've left that position. And really what to me, the central piece was what Collins referred to as level 5 leadership. And it's got a pyramid from level 1 up to level 5, but a level 5 leader is an executive that it says builds enduring greatness through a paradoxical blend of personal humility and professional will. So a humble person, but incredibly driven and incredibly a lot of grit, I guess you would say. And it also says that level 5 leaders channel their ego needs away from themselves and into a larger goal of building a great company. It's not that level 5 leaders have no ego or self-interest. Indeed, they are ambitious, incredibly ambitious, but their ambition is first and foremost for the institution, not themselves. So kind of talks, in a roundabout way about servant leadership and having a larger goal over and above yourself. So that's my number one, Good to Great by Jim Collins. My next one is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. Now, a totally different writing style. This was a great kind of pump up, easy read book that really explores the power that all of us have within us. And talks about give you some practical tips on how to tap into that potential, and kind of a little new agey for me, and talked about meditation, which I've never gotten into even after reading the book, but I can see the value in it and being able to slow your mind down and being able to focus. But I thought it was really good. It drove home to me the idea that we all have a great, way more potential than we realize. We really have a way of kind of tamping down our ambition or our goals or what we can see for ourselves, and we really need to open up to that and understand that we can be anything we want to be, and that we've got greatness within us. Really great book. I pushed off on my kids and encourage them to read so they can push it off on my grandkids, so my grandkids can get the message as well. Very funny writing style, by the way. Really fun book to read. And my number three personal development book is The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. This is one of the more recent books. I think it's come out in the last year. He's a really popular motivational speaker, TED Talk kind of guy. Very for those of us that are in coaching, Ed Mylett is kind of a PJ Fleck sort of character, very high energy, very motivational sort of character. And the premise of this book, The Power of One, is that everyone is a lot closer to your dreams than you think you are, and that there's power in one more, whether it's one more meeting or one more call, business call, one more relationship, one more decision, one more action. one more rep in the weight room, one more rep on the practice field. And that by doing one more every single day on a consistent basis is the key to success. Everybody talks about the grind, and I think this kind of plays into the grind mentality a little bit, which I think maybe is a little bit overblown, but it isn't, from the standpoint of, is it doesn't have to be um, hours and hours more. It's one more hour of work, not 5 more hours of work. It's one more business call, not 10 more business calls. And it's a lot of it is, I think, the kind of the mentality that, I always felt like my teams, we worked them really hard, and it's a matter of believing that you're working harder than everybody else. You might not be working harder than everybody else, but you're doing more than what you think everybody else is doing. And just that, um, the thought that you're working harder than everybody else kind of creates a good aura of energy around you relative to your success. So, I also would recommend Ed Milet's got a great podcast called The Ed Milet Show, that you can tap into. Does 2 different podcasts a week, some really good stuff. One of them is an interview style thing where he kind of taps into other people's expertise, and then a shorter version that is kind of personal with Ed and that kind of thing. So great podcast. So 3 great books. I'd recommend any of them. And they'll really help you kind of grow as a person and improve yourself as a coach and as a leader. So take some time, read those books, and have a great week. Be that coach your kids need you to be.